The conflict between Israel and Palestine is deeply rooted in a complex tapestry of history, culture, and religion. This video explores the major historical milestones from ancient times to the present that have contributed to this enduring conflict. The roots of the conflict. Over 3,000 years ago, the region now known as Israel and Palestine was ancient Canaan. This area was primarily inhabited by the Canaanites, but it also hosted a diverse array of other ethnic groups, creating a rich cultural mosaic. This era was crucial in forming the foundational cultural and historical identity that would mark the region for millennia. The intermingling of different civilizations, each with their unique traditions and practices, contributed to the complex socio-political landscape that has influenced the area's historical trajectory. This blend of cultures set the stage for the intricate tapestry of conflict and cooperation that characterizes the region's history. The arrival of the Israelite. According to biblical narratives, around 1400 BCE, the Israelites, led by seminal figures such as Abraham and later Moses, entered Canaan. They identified this land as the territory promised to them by divine decree. This claim set the stage for numerous conflicts with the local Canaanite tribes, who were the original inhabitants of the region. The Israelites believed that their right to this land was ordained by their covenant with God, a belief that fueled both their settlement efforts and the subsequent confrontations with the Canaanites. These early clashes were just the beginning of the long and complex history of territorial disputes in the region. The kingdoms of Israel and Judah. By around 1000 BCE, the Israelites had established two distinct kingdoms, Israel in the north and Judah in the south. This period marked a significant phase of both prosperity and turmoil. The two kingdoms experienced economic growth and cultural development, yet they were frequently embroiled in internal disputes and external conflicts. Their strategic geographical locations attracted the interests of powerful neighboring empires such as the Assyrians and Babylonians. These interactions often led to military confrontations that tested the resilience and unity of the Israelite kingdoms, shaping their political landscapes and leaving a lasting impact on the region's historical and cultural fabric. The Babylonian exile and aftermath. In 586 BCE, a pivotal moment reshaped the history of the Jewish people when Babylon conquered Judah, destroyed Jerusalem, and exiled many Jews to Babylon. This event, known as the Babylonian exile, profoundly impacted Jewish identity and deepened their spiritual and cultural connection to the land of Israel. The experience of exile instilled a strong sense of loss and yearning for their homeland, themes that permeated Jewish thought and scripture. The Persian and Hellenistic periods. After the Persians defeated Babylon, the Jews returned to Judea, marking a period of relative peace and cultural blending under subsequent Hellenistic rule after Alexander the Great's conquests. Roman conquest and Jewish diaspora. The arrival of the Roman Empire brought drastic changes, including the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE and the dispersal of the Jewish population, contributing to the Jewish diaspora. Emergence of Christianity. During the Roman period, Christianity began to develop, adding another layer to the region's complex religious landscape. This period saw the initial seeds of conflict among Jews, Christians, and later Muslims over claims to the land. Ottoman rule and the British Mandate. Fast forward to the Ottoman Empire's control from the early 16th century until World War I, when the British took over under the Mandate for Palestine. This era set the stage for the modern political conflicts between Jews and Arabs in the region. The birth of Israel and the Palestinian conflict. In 1948, the State of Israel was established, leading to the first in a series of Arab-Israeli wars and the ongoing struggle between Israelis and Palestinians for land and sovereignty. Ongoing disputes and peace efforts. Despite numerous peace efforts, including the famous Camp David Accords and the Oslo Agreements, the conflict persists, marked by periods of intense violence and political instability. The impact of world wars. The geopolitical shifts during and after World War I and II had profound effects on the Israel-Palestine conflict. Post-World War I, the British Mandate facilitated Jewish immigration, leading to increased tensions with the Arab population. World War II and the Holocaust accelerated global sympathy and support for the establishment of a Jewish state. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War, following the United Nations partition plan to divide the British Mandate of Palestine into Jewish and Arab states, Israel declared independence on May 14, 1948. This declaration triggered the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, involving neighboring Arab states and leading to significant territorial losses for the proposed Arab state and the creation of numerous Palestinian refugees. The 1967 Six-Day War and its aftermath. In 1967, Israel faced military threats from Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. The Six-Day War resulted in a swift and decisive victory for Israel, which captured the Gaza Strip, the Sinai Peninsula, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights. This war significantly altered the map and increased the urgency of resolving the region's disputes. The First and Second Intifadas. The First Intifada, 1987 to 1993, and the Second Intifada, 2000 to 2005, were significant Palestinian uprisings against Israeli occupation. These periods were marked by widespread violence, economic hardship, and considerable loss of life on both sides. They significantly impacted public opinion and political landscapes in both communities. The Oslo Accords initiated. In the early 1990s, the Oslo Accords marked the first direct face-to-face agreement between the government of Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO. The accords aimed to lay the groundwork for future Israeli-Palestinian relations and establish the Palestinian Authority with limited self-governance of parts of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. The Camp David Summit 2000A significant summit was held in July 2000 between the U.S. President Bill Clinton, Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, and Palestinian Authority Chairman Yasser Arafat. The summit aimed to resolve all final status issues in the conflict, but ended without an agreement, leading to disillusionment on all sides and setting the stage for the Second Intifada. Recent developments and international involvement. In recent years, the dynamics of the Israel-Palestine conflict have continued to evolve with various international efforts aimed at mediating peace, including U.S.-led negotiations and broader international interventions. Despite these efforts, significant challenges remain, highlighting the complex interplay of regional politics, security concerns, and international diplomacy. The recognition of Jerusalem and settlement expansions. The U.S. recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital in 2017 and the ongoing expansion of Israeli settlements in occupied territories continue to be major points of contention. These actions have significant implications for the peace process and have been met with both domestic support and international condemnation. The roadmap for peace. In 2003, the Quartet on the Middle East, United States, Russia, European Union, and United Nations, proposed a roadmap for peace, aiming to resolve the conflict via a two-state solution. Despite initial optimism, the roadmap faced numerous obstacles, including political instability and continuing violence from both sides. The Gaza withdrawal. In 2005, Israel unilaterally disengaged from the Gaza Strip, removing all Israeli settlements and military presence in the area. This move was intended to pave the way for further negotiations. However, it also led to a power vacuum that was quickly filled by Hamas, leading to new cycles of conflict and blockade. Operation Cast Lead and subsequent conflicts. The end of 2008 and the beginning of 2009 marked one of the deadliest periods in the conflict with Operation Cast Lead, an intensive Israeli military campaign in Gaza. This operation, and others that followed, like Protective Edge in 2014, were responses to rocket fire from Gaza and were characterized by significant casualties and widespread destruction. Recent peace agreements and normalization. The landscape of the conflict saw a significant shift with the Abraham Accords in 2020, where several Arab nations normalized relations with Israel. While these agreements marked a pivotal shift in regional dynamics, the core issues of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict remain unresolved, with ongoing disputes over territory, settlements, and the status of Jerusalem. Continued tensions and international responses. The region continues to experience periodic escalations in violence, such as the clashes in Jerusalem and bombings in Gaza. International responses have varied, with some nations calling for renewed negotiations and others condemning actions by both sides. The global community remains divided on strategies that could lead to a lasting peace. Humanitarian concerns and future prospects. The humanitarian situation, particularly in Gaza, remains dire, with restrictions on movement, goods, and services exacerbating the plight of the civilian population. The international community continues to provide aid, but without a political solution, the long-term outlook remains bleak. Please consider subscribing to our channel for more insightful explorations of Islamic history. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. We value your input and look forward to bringing you more engaging content. Stay curious and keep learning with us.